Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We have a list of 18 properties today, and I'm excited. I just heard back from local councillor Colin, an appraiser and friend of the show, wonderful human being, tireless volunteer in Milton, and so he's going to come and talk about some of the development plans, some of the things happening with Milton. So whether or not you're interested in Milton, it's very interesting to look at some of the tools that you have at your disposal for checking what's going on with the land right next door to me. So I've learned a lot just from being in Colin's presence, and I know you will too. So buyer class is going to be great. If Milton Daily Homes is getting a little too call it general for you, what we can do is set you up on customized daily emails. So let's just say you're looking for detached 4-bedroom homes in new neighborhoods in Milton and Oakville. We could set that up. If you're looking for rural properties within 15 minutes, we can set that up. So there's lots of ways, condos, any type of property that you're looking for. We can even set it up so it screens by hardwood floors and streets starting with the letter P. Anything. If there's a particular street that you say, hey, if a home came on that street, I'd want to know about it, that's very possible with these customized emails. So all you need to do is go to homefinderprogram.com and we can get everything started up. So let's get started with today's list. Now, 238 Wilson is 275,984. Kind of a weird number, especially because 275,000 would have double bracketed them and had them in the 250 to 275 and 275 to 300 price range. So it would have doubled essentially their exposure. Anyway, I don't think it's going to hurt them because there's not really a lot listed right now at that price point. So we've got the one at 247, which is just a couple complexes over. Most of the stuff around Woodward and Wilson is going to have electric baseboard heat. It's just how they were built, and that can be more expensive than gas depending on how you run it. It is an end unit. It looks like it's had some renovations done. Typically for a basic version of a home like this, you're probably in the 250 to 260 range, given the fact that they put the floors in the kitchen and so some flooring upstairs. I'm not sure about the bathroom renovation, new carpet. They probably don't seem that far off at the 275 mark, and the price point itself has a lot of momentum. There's a lot of people that are looking for a house in Milton right now under $300,000. It's getting very hard to get that. So 491 McJanet, 399. This is a Mattamy Village townhouse, 3 stories, no backyard, just the balcony here. Very popular choice with first-time buyers because it's a great condo alternative. There's no condo fees here. The prices have really shot up fast. I mean, we're talking probably $40,000 in the last year easily. And if you watched yesterday's episode, I believe that these ones are even ahead of the curve. In terms of the price point. The average price point was a little different, we talked about yesterday, but I'll tell you, these ones have done very well. Anyone who bought these, that propulsion $40,000 or $50,000 up in a year allows them the opportunity to jump into the next step, which often is a semi or sometimes even a detached home from something like this. Anyway, this is 1,356 square feet. They put some nice finishes in. One of them listed at, I believe it was $389, sold for $400,000, broke the record. None of these have ever sold over $400,000, and the first one that did that was recently. Light fixtures make a huge difference. Even 1 or 2 strategically placed light fixtures can make a world of difference. Under cabinet lighting, crown molding, and these guys have a shot. I definitely think that something in the 390s is going to be possible. It is my favorite elevation too, with the 2 bedrooms upstairs plus the 2 washrooms. There's also a 3-bedroom where you lose the 1 washroom and only have, the rooms are a little bit small. They basically split this one up into 2 8-foot rooms on the front. Anyway, I like it, and I think that there's a very good chance that they will probably get first or second place ever for sales. We talk a lot on Milton Daily Homes about this idea of the next best thing to a 2-car garage is having 2-car parking in the driveway. So you avoid that shuffling effect where, you kind of come in late from work and then your spouse has to leave early, so you end up shuffling cars, especially on a somewhat busier street like Hepburn. That could be a real pain. So having the secondary here where you could potentially park a second car is, I think, a really good thing to have. Is it legal? It's a little bit of gray territory. And the reason I say that is because it's really complaint driven. Technically, you shouldn't do something like this, but unless the neighbors are really raising a fuss on you, usually there's not much of a problem. Looks like the neighbor has a separate entrance here too, so it's always good to look at stuff like that, to look in the neighbor's yard. Do they have kids? You can do a lot of detective work, not just by asking questions, but just by looking around and seeing what's going on around you. So this is a Brent Grove model. It looks like it has granite countertops. It's 1,500 square feet. What I like about this one is all of the bedrooms are a nice size. There's not one small room. They're all good balanced rooms. The master's a good square size. There's laundry up on the second floor. And you've got a finished basement here too, with a bathroom and a pretty standard size lot. So $479 is a little bit high for what these models usually sell for with the things that it has inside. But 2015, I don't always disagree with the strategy of aiming a little bit high, especially if you have a little bit of time, because you know when there's not a lot of selection out there, and when you see townhouses listed for the same price as this one, there's a shot that maybe you might be able to get up into a record-breaking price. Now we've got a very similar layout coming out very soon, probably in the next week and a half or so, and so I'll fill you in with some details about that as the time gets closer. Now Holdsworth is a sundial built home, 529, and it's 1,400 square feet, and it's got a bit of a tight kitchen here too. So when you go inside, you really feel like this, the kitchen. There's not really an eat-in area here. So some people, what they do is they'll take this space here and they'll convert it to a bit of an eat-in area, or they'll put their table up into the living area. So that's the one challenge with this one. There is a finished basement, and then you also have a nice size 100-foot yard here too. Yeah, that's great. So the sundial homes are there's another one I'm going to show you towards the end of the list, but they have the kind of old Milton lots with the new Milton house, and the kitchens are a little bit small, but overall I would say that this one looks good. I'd be surprised if they got this price, because this is a tough layout, and this is the kind of home that I usually warn people when I sell this model, is that, hey, you're going to require a lot of showings to get someone who's interested. Typically the number's about 15 showings to get an offer. We've tracked this over the years. A home like this might be 20 or 25 before you get an offer. So that's a really helpful number to know, because when you have 3 showings in the first week, you say, okay, it'll probably take me a month and a half to sell the home on average. Is it possible that the next person to walk in would give you an offer? Absolutely, but that's how the averages stay. But when you have a kitchen that's that small with no eat-in, what you find is that it's going to screen. There's going to be less and less people, even though they love the yard. You're going to have to filter a little bit more. The 911 McNeil is in the Hawthorne Village School District, which is very near and dear to my heart. It's where my kids go to school. Love this street. It's a little bit of a cut-through street, but it's not extremely busy. Powell model, 1,900 square feet, and it's a good floor plan, crown moldings. Looks like it's only an 8-foot ceiling, but they've taken good care of it. You've got the 4 bedrooms upstairs, so the laundry now moves to the basement when you've got the 4 bedroom, and a little bit of a nook there. The siding gives you the extra bonus of having a balcony, and there is no finished basement. Same model recently sold on Irving, with a finished basement for around this price. So we'll see what happens with this one. I don't think they're that far off, but if you judge it based on the one with the finished basement, this one should be probably a little bit less as a sale price. Now you'll probably recognize the picture on Elliott because it's been listed before. And here's some of the shots. You've got a bit of a side yard here. You've got a nice little patio off the side on this side. The inside, it looks like they've done a fair bit of renovation. So I think it is a new and improved version over the home that was listed, I think, probably a couple months ago. I'd have to go check that out. It looks pretty good, though. They've got some nice floors in there. Paint job. The kitchen looks pretty good. The basement's been finished. There's new carpet. They spent some money for sure, and you can see that in the description. Some of the 2015 upgrades on this home here. Now, I saw Sire last night. It's they call it a front split. My understanding is these are more of a back split, but you walk in, you've got your living room, and then there's kind of a half level here, and then you've got a dining room up top, kitchen with a sloped ceiling. There's a bit of a crack on the wall, but that's a pretty normal thing for the split level homes. It's probably going to scare some people, but it's my understanding from a structural engineer is that there's not much you can do about those cracks. They're kind of part and parcel with a home like this. You've got a wood-burning fireplace there. You also have a fourth lower level here, which they're using as an office. And you've got a pretty good sized backyard with a pool. And I like how the pool is off to the side because, you still have some grass over on the other end that the kids can play in. Behind these trees, cleverly disguised, is Derry Road. So you're on the south side of Sire, which means you back onto Derry. You will get some road noise, regardless of how many trees are growing in behind you. I felt the price is a little bit high. However, there's not a lot of homes with pools, and this combination of features, double garage and so on, that are for sale right now. Now, Easterbrook is another sundial home, and so you're a 40 by 100 foot lot. That's the same size property as the stuff in Bronte Meadows and some of the Timberley homes. They've done a very nice job of improving and updating this one. It's got a really nice main floor layout. And I like this price point at $715. They've done a lot of work compared to what the builder gave them, because it did not look like this when, basically when it closed, 8 years ago from the builder. Nice. Really like the size of this one. I think it's about 2,800 square feet. And it's a low traffic street. It's a good street for kids to play hockey on. The next one up is Huntingford Gate. $840 is the price. It's a Heathwood home. It's almost 3,300 square feet. So it would compare with like the Mattamy Tothbergs, for example. There was one that just listed on Earl Crescent that's around the same size and sold very, very quickly. It's all carpet inside here. You've got some nice kitchen upgrades, granite counters. This was all pretty standard from the builder. You got a bit of a loft upstairs plus the 4 bedrooms. You also have 3 washrooms upstairs, and it looks like an unfinished basement. So really what you're buying here is a pretty sweet layout, and you're paying for the area. The Heathwood area probably commands in this price range like maybe a $50,000 to $60,000 premium. They call this the Forest Collection. On the west side of Scott, this little area right here is prime real estate. I kind of laughed, but one of my colleagues called this the Beverly Hills of Milton. I think it's a little ridiculous, but I do get the point, and the essence of that statement is this is considered by many to be the premium top shelf product for new construction in Milton. So that's the list for today. If you have any questions, reach out to us, and there's probably still time to get into the buyer class if you want. Just go to miltonbuyerclass.com, and we will see you back here with another episode on Monday. Have a great day.